So again, the Ranger Valeth and the assassin Koltar are fighting two death jump spiders off in the bunk room. Meanwhile, the rest of our party is in the meeting hall. And at this point, our monk, the tiefling, decides he's going to investigate that passageway. The half-orc is just enamored with the paintings in this meeting hall. He's checking out all this lore and picture of the four Knights of the Sworn, their deeds. On the back wall, there's a bunch of mounted monster and beast heads. A couple of orcs, I pointed out, just for his sake. And I think Ziria and Andrus were just kind of investigating the room. And again, I'd been forcing manual perception checks when I shouldn't have been. But they made it, and they hear the sounds of combat coming from across the hall. And I believe it was Ziria, the other ranger, who decided to go investigate first, and then Andrus followed suit. So these guys, meanwhile, I'm doing this in encounter round fashion. The other two that are in the bunkhouse are getting beat up a little bit. And they just about do have one of the spiders down by the time Ziria arrives and fires an arrow into it, killing it. Meanwhile, Andrus casts a healing boon of some sort. I think it was just healing word. And a sanctuary on Koltar to give him a defense. And they down the other spider. And they search the room, finding naught but another piece of the canvas. Well, they take it and place it on the painting, and the painting heals that piece of canvas as well. This one's the face of a dwarf. And meanwhile, our tiefling has made his way down through the passageway. It's just a dark hall that turns to the right and then goes down about 30 feet in a narrow stairway to a large rusted iron portcullis. I'd set this up as a group strength I don't know, like a group strength challenge. I'd kind of hoped that they'd all work together to try to gain bonus on a strength check to get this thing lifted, or just decide to hack through it. And I'd rolled, stats and hit points for it. And at one point, the half-orc actually did decide to take his great axe to it, and he did some damage to it. Rolled rather well, in fact. But in the end, Dreda and Shepard, our monk and half-orc barbarian, decide that they're going to just manhandle the thing, and I believe it was Dreda ends up with a natural 20 plus his strength bonus, and the monk rolled rather well as well, so they do get it lifted, and it rises into the ceiling, revealing a small 6 foot by 6 foot cell with a chest in it. Now, I hadn't even thought about the idea that the chest could be locked. I was just going to have it open. No one tried to just open it, though. They decide they're going to try to manhandle the lock off. I don't remember saying anything about a lock. But yes, there's a lock there. Of course there's a lock there. Who wouldn't lock a chest? You just had to lift a big 400-pound gate to get in here, guys. You really think they need to lock it? Whatever. So yeah, it's locked now. Good job. Same team, guys. But, so the half-orc decides to make a strength check on the lock. He can't pry it open. He rolled poorly. And Sean, our tiefling monk, Shepard, decides to expend one of his daily attacks and just obliterates this chest. And inside, I had written that it would contain another part of the parchment, along with 100 gold. Now, in my head, I don't know why, I had it set that the party would go room to room together and combat these difficulties and encounters separately. So really, meanwhile, half the party had killed these two spiders, gaining one of the pieces. At the same time, the monk and the orc had obtained another. That was phenomenal. So they make their way back into the hallway and heal the painting, leaving only one piece of the painting left. So they go back into the... after it heals, because they're... Forgive me. Okay, some of the party had gone to the mural to heal it. Meanwhile, others had stayed in the meeting hall investigating a bookshelf that they'd found against one of the walls that looked suspicious. Just kind of out of place. And as soon as they put the other two pieces of parchment in, the bookcase flips and instead resembles a set of double doors with a carved book in it. This is a bookshelf to a book. I don't know. I kind of liked the way that worked. We're going into a library.